Hey guys, it's Mary Ellen. Very happy to be here with you on this beautiful full moon. Um, I'm just gonna sort of hang out today. I think we're gonna hang out together today, Spirit says. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit. I think about my full moon journey. Spirit saying our full moon journey, and I think there's a desire coming from within me to. To just relax. I've had a beautiful full moon journey. I've been up all night tending a fire, and so I've had my shower. I feel human again, and going forward, I think we're just going to be. There's a desire to just be comfortable together, to have a Spirit's talking about a long, languid conversation, and we're going to talk about all kinds of topics, including the readings that I did last month. Well, last week. I don't even know. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Squishy Home. How are you? Darlene, hi. So I've just been rambling, sort of waiting for people to show up. How are you all? Tell me what's going on this full moon day for you. I'm dying to know. Whew. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey. I was talking to the air before people showed up, so I wanted to make sure the stream was going forward. Rob, hi. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Happy full moon. So I was just telling the other folks that are here, I've been, I have a lot of information that wants to come out. And I also have my own desire, which is to relax and chill back. And I just kind of want to be with you guys today on this day of exalted love. And, I'm going to bite it back for now, but we'll get into it a little bit, okay? So let's see who's here. Yeah, Joanne, thank you. Marie Antoinette, hi. Yeah, I know. It's just, that it's a day of just the shower, literally love energy being showered onto us. And I don't know about you guys. Anybody else really emotional? I feel like I'm just like right here, that where you're not quite, the tears aren't quite coming up, and any little push is going to go right over the edge. So be prepared. I'm not holding it back today. I just figure if there's any day when we can be together and be who we are and be emotional and let our love and our emotions flow, this one is it. That's part of why I'm wanting to just chill back and relax. So, Marie Antoinette is in Switzerland, where I was hoping to go. Joanne, yeah, you too. Oh boy. So, let's see. My clock says 4 after. I'm gonna wait another minute or two, and then we'll go forward, okay? So, while we're waiting to see if other folks are gonna show up, what have you guys been up to? Tell me about your full moon journey. Let's just talk, okay? Spirit wants us to talk and to be together. It's our moment. Just to be together and to talk to each other and let the energy flow. So I think we're going to do a little exercise about that. I'm going to talk about the future of Moonrise Cottage. I'm going to talk maybe a little bit more about my journey, and then we're going to draw some cards together, okay? So let's see. Marie Antoinette, I know you did another ceremony. You want to tell us a little bit about that? I'd love to hear. Darlene, you want to know why you're single? Why you don't have a man in your life? Is it just me? Or I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing about myself. So, Marie Antoinette, you've been crying. Yeah, me too. I've been crying all day. My eyes are probably all bloodshot. Well, Darlene, I am gonna talk about love. I've been here on YouTube since the beginning of 2017. And I've not been allowed to talk about it. And it's been really interesting to me. But we are going to talk about it today. And because of the changes that are happening for me and the changes that are happening at Moonrise Cottage, we're going to start delving into that. What is that thing that we desire? All right, Spirit's starting already. And what deep down, when we travel deep, what we really want is to be able to express love freely. And I've been here in my little hermit house. I made a commitment to be alone until it was time for me to not be alone. So, given everything that's going on in the sky today, and it's about culminations and new beginnings, and again, I made some notes, but they're a little crazy because my energy has just been so intense. I'm going to try to get through it, but we're going to talk about it. I assure you we're going to talk about it. And if you would like to really know the answer to that question, go to my website, book a reading, okay? And we'll really look. And we can have a deep talk with Spirit about what is it that's going on in your life. What's happening with your energy? Because that's what it's all about. Are you really available? Are you not? Is there something else that's supposed to be happening? It would be nice to know, wouldn't it? Especially if that's a desire you have in your heart and you're not manifesting it. So going forward, those are some of the things we're going to be doing as well. All right, let's see. Hey, Suze. Hi. So great to have you here. We're just hanging out, Suze. We're just having a little bit of a hangout. I'll tell you what happened a few minutes ago. So, I was up pretty much all night preparing for my full moon journey. The full moon culminated here. Well, for the culmination, I guess, is what I was preparing for. At just a few minutes before 8 in the morning here on the East Coast in the United States. And so I did a lot of, chanting and praying and meditating and thinking about what would I like to manifest and what would I like to release. Hi, Mark. Yay, I'm glad you're here. So, Mark, I'm just telling the story of, I don't know, maybe the Spirit saying the last 24 hours. And I really want to hear from you folks. I wish that you were here in my living room today. And as part of what I'm feeling very emotional about, can you hear my voice cracking? Oh, my Lord. And, it is the nature of the day, so let's just go for it. If that happens, it's a healing thing. So, what year is it? It's 2018. This is how I feel. I'm really this full moon is happening in my 12th house. So I'm deep. I'm feeling the energy coming across. So I decided, given who I've been, given the fact that I took some spiritual vows, including to be a hermit, which is my nature. So in a way, that big deal, right? I'm a Virgo with Aries rising. But, it kind of was a big deal. When I was very young, I was raised in the Catholic religion, and my parents were devout. I guess I would say devout. And so I don't remember how or why, but the notion, I think, through the Spirit saying through the socialization of that mindset, activated something that was already in me that really just wanted to be a monk on some level. And so I struggled for many years with, should I become a nun or, the pathway that they provide. And at a fairly young age, I thought, I too many rules and regulations for me because I have Aries rising, right? So forget it. I'm not following. I'm going to go find my own path. And of course I did, and it led me here. So one of the things that came through last night while I was meditating was that I came in. Hi, Ina. Am I saying your name right, Ina? Okay, hang on, you guys. I'm looking at the chat. So, listen, I'm willing to be a little scattered today because I really want to interact with you, okay? So I'm going to pause the button for that story I was telling. So, Maria Antoinette, you had a written message about your ceremony, and everything vanished. You know what? A similar thing happened to me. That's where I was going with the story. Darlene, okay, so if anybody's here that doesn't know, below all my videos in the Show More section, there is a link to my website, which is moonrisecottagesoultarot.com. It's just like the channel, okay? And you put the W's in or whatever, and you just click the link, and you'll go to my website, and I've made it as easy squeezy as possible. Gosh, there's so many things to remember. I'm going to be doing some changes there too. So let's circle back so I can finish that little story, and then we'll go forward again, okay? Okay, so Darlene, did you understand that about getting to my website? It's all over my channel. Just go to any video. It's also on the landing page photo. There's a link there. So I publish that as widely as I can. All right. Okay, so all right, Ina. I'm saying it wrong. Is it Enna? How do we say your name? You're a Virgo too. All right, so full moon journey. So I'm doing all of my Tani. Hi, God, I can't believe. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Tani got in her car to start her journey to come to Moonrise Cottage, and something happened with the car, and she had to turn around and go back home to San Francisco. Oh. You know what, Tani, Spirit, I was thinking about you this morning. Spirit was telling me once Mars goes direct, you'll be able to figure that out. It'll be fine. You won't have a problem. It's just because the energy's wonky, right? As it is supposed to be. Enna. Okay, Enna is correct. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm doing my meditation, my prayers, and this is my season too because my sun sign is Virgo. So I'm just preparing myself to be able to step into the moment, because whatever it was, a week ago, when I did the readings for September, in my rising sign reading and in my sun sign reading, there was basically the notification of it's time for an initiation, and I've been feeling it for a while. My birthday's coming up in the end of August. I just thought, this is your moment, do it. You have started on this new phase of your journey. It's been almost 2 years. Go for it. Step in a little deeper and recommit yourself, because I do feel the change that is coming over myself, and I see the changes coming over everybody else, and I see the changes that are happening at Moonrise Cottage. So I had a beautiful ceremony in what will eventually be the formal fire pit area attached to the ceremonial grounds that I am building. I started that in May. And because there are, I think it's 6 now, there were 7 planets in retrograde. Everything stopped. As soon as everything started going retrograde, everything stopped. Not one thing has moved forward. So the Virgo in me is having an inner panic attack. My Aries is all pissed off. Like, I started this in April so that this wouldn't happen, because the same thing happened last year. So I'm just flowing with it. Spirit's laughing at me. Just flow with it and know that we have been meant to be sent inward. So I went very deeply inward, went out, found the fire pit area. Did a fire last night before bed. And went to bed intending to try to get some sleep, and of course I didn't. And was up all night, kind of in a half-wake, half-dream state. And I was hearing many things, Spirit saying I was hearing the thoughts of the collective, the heartfelt desires of the collective, and the energetic intentions of the alignments and the full moon and all the things that have happened. It's been, what an amazing year. We thought last year, Spirit said this once before, we thought last year was the shit with Lionsgate and all that stuff. Nuh-uh. This was really something seismic, Spirit is saying. So, oh, good. You're comfy. All right, Tani, I'm glad you're safe. So, anyways, I woke up. I think I did sleep for a couple of hours. And I feel as though the experience that I'm having, and I trust that you are having it as well, that we are beginning to hear or know or intuit, whatever way you understand things, we are all becoming more vast. That's what my spirit guides are saying. It is the intention of the last 2 years, and it's the reason that I showed up here. So I had part of what's happening is I've been having past life remembrances over the last couple of weeks, and I remembered why it is I have this urge inside of me, because I've been traveling for a while with this energy of wanting to be, Spirit's calling it a midwife, wanting to be a midwife to the soul for other people, so that the type of birth that is meant for them can come forward. And so along my pathway, I've met a lot of people that I've traveled with before. And at some point, I think Spirit's kind of putting a marker in things as I talk. So I think, as the new information that's ready to be revealed through me, it's been stockpiling. Spirit says, I've been feeling it. So I had to sort of have this past life regression. So that's part of what happened. And I thought, oh, I see where I was standing. And when I came forward and came here again, I got put into this particular place for particular, depending on what you believe. I chose it or I didn't. I don't know. Right? I'm not here to say that I know about those things, but those are the notions that are out there. So I came here in this lifetime in order to go more deeply into my own soul progress. And so I have had the urge my whole entire life to be cloistered. I couldn't find the way in which it felt comfortable to me. And I looked at all different kinds of religions. I dabbled here, there, and yonder. And Mark, like you, I traveled deep. I was... You know some of my story, right? I was in Nepal. I was in the Middle East during the first Gulf War, if you can believe that. And I was 5 months pregnant. And, I have been journeying for a long time. And sometimes in this lifetime, I feel very weary. And I understand now, because of the things that happened last night and this morning, I realized, oh, okay, I remember myself now. And it sounds a little silly in a way, but to have this awareness come to illumination and culmination on this day, obviously it's fate and destiny. And so I built myself my own cloister, and it's this building that you see me sitting in. And I have been... Spirit's telling me I've been bumping off suitors. I've not killed anybody. I was not available. And, I kept trying to be available. And finally, I just thought, you know what, you're not. And so part of what was happening was, yeah, Tani, you feeling the call? Yeah. G. Hi. Okay, tell me more. So anyways, I've been cloistered. Part of that whole story was the way I've been cloistered, because I've been downloading information in little bits at a time, and has pushed me very deep at times. Just not available. That's how I felt. I am not available. And finally I just thought, well, if you really think you're not available and you can't maintain a relationship because you're not available, so you draw to yourself people who are not available, and then you get to have that karmic experience, how about if you stop? So I just stopped after a while. And I just thought, at some point, maybe this is what I came here to do. And if that's the case, that's okay with me. It really is, because thankfully, for whatever reason, I'm very comfortable being alone, and maybe most comfortable being alone in my own skin so that I can percolate. So this morning, while I was doing my initiation ceremony and sitting by the fire, a lot of remembrance came to me. And I turned around at one point and I was releasing my fears and accepting my destiny, because I've been questioning myself lately. And calling forward the energy to manifest the rest of the story of what's most meant to happen here. And I've talked about a little in other live streams. So there's a large swirling vortex of energy going on around the house. And part of what happened when I came up here, some of you know the story. I came up here to start building the house, and a shamanistic type person showed up. And there was a lot of crow medicine on that day. And so we had a long conversation. He put a silver staff into my hand and it started to vibrate. And I basically walked around this property and dowsed. And I haven't told that part of the story, and it's too long. I'm not going to get into it. But what happened was, when he told me go stand in the center of where the place I pick for the house to be, he said something about there's only 3 types of people that would choose to build a house there: crazy people, madmen, mystics, or fools. And this morning I saw the vision of that. So I was out at the fire. I was calling in the vortex of energy, calling in, releasing all of my fears, releasing whatever stands in the way. And then I began the process of calling in the energy. And Spirit's calling it the remembrance of what was here in the past and what this place is for now. And it has to do with all of you, because apparently we are co-walkers, and many of us, maybe not all of us, but Spirit says it doesn't matter, and we don't have to put a value judgment on it, but there are meant to be people who come here for some part of their journey, as I've been talking about for a couple of months. And for me, as I struggle with my own facade and my own desire to be cloistered and my own, it's weird because you would think I was a water sign, right? But, I guess it is part of the Virgo thing. I just want to be where I can hear the trees and feel the wind and listen to the crickets and be deep on the inside. So with this culmination, with this full moon, I have seen the energy pattern of this place, or maybe it's just in this moment. And I've been feeling it since I've been here, but now I'm beginning to actually be able to visualize what is happening here and the energy that is about to be uncovered and manifest. The portal that's going to be utilized for the people who choose to show up here, to have a journey of their own with assistance from me. My job is to help you. So there's a lot of information that's going to come through, and we'll talk about it a little bit. So let's see. Gita, Chiron, yeah, huh? So I'm going to jump in, and just Spirit's pushing me along now. The download. Well, so for me, I see visions, I do astral travel, and Spirit says I just go out and collect things. Things get sent on the highway, and I know it's true for a lot of you, all right? So often the things that come, I'm realizing, Darlene, Spirit says this is for you. One of the things I'm realizing is that a lot of the information, and maybe it's true for everybody, Comes in a lot of ways, right? We have the crown chakra, the pineal gland, we got this, we got this. For me, it comes in through my heart. And my heart has been so busy for so long, learning about the vibration that I've been chasing my whole life, that I was not able to share it with anyone. And I didn't understand it, but I understood this morning. I was like, oh, that's what you've been doing. Because what we are meant to do going forward is to talk about the mechanisms of, Spirit's calling it the organ, the sensory organ of the heart, and the way it utilizes vibration. And Spirit's been talking about attenuation, so that word's coming again, the way it attenuates the vibration, and the way it is able to weave the tapestry. So I've been busy. And you know, Darlene, I'm beginning to think that that's true for some of us. So that's a little bit, I think that felt really scattered to me. Let me know if I'm making sense. So the downloads that I'm getting are a continuation, G dot, Spirit's wanting to answer you, of some information that I came in with to this lifetime. And part of that information is the urge that I felt to be a nun, to be a monk, to be a hermit, to be married to the earth and married to the energy, and have that be, Spirit's talking about the stuff of my days, and it has been. So there's information that I'm learning and that I'm receiving. I feel as though I'm receiving it, particularly this year, after I went on my sacred journey last year. And as I've been learning, you know, I had to learn everything. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I didn't know anything about tarot cards. I didn't know anything about anything. That's how I felt. And I'd been cloistering myself because I didn't want to be affected by the outside world. I had this feeling that I just wanted to be pure on the inside, to know what I know. And so I feel as though there are things that are interlocking inside of me. There are new pieces of information coming in that are helping me understand. Spirit says, so I can do this, like the crows, right? So I can speak from the mystical realm about that information, or through the information that comes to me. So, I forgot. Oh my God, I'm rambling. So this morning while I was out doing what I was doing by my fire pit, there's a flock of crows that have lived in this area for many years, long before I got here. And on the day when I first came here, looking for the well to get ready to start building, and the shaman came and made me go stand in the, map out the house and go stand in the middle of that so we could have a conversation. I had been talking to the crows for probably a year and a half. And suddenly the entire flock arrived, and they sat around the ring of the meadow in the trees. And they were talking in very guttural ways while I was having that ceremony, Spirit says. So that's what happened this morning. The crows came. So I feel blessed, and I feel ignited, and I do feel the literal rain of love energy flowing down in the sky. And those are all the things that we're going to talk about. And it's why I've been cloistered. A lot of realization when you have moments like that. So if you're out there and you're listening to me gab, and you feel the urge inside of you to come to yourself and have a ceremony and acknowledge a sacred existence that you're having, I'm here. That's why I'm here. So we're going to start going forward. There's some fun things that are going to be happening here over the next month and a half while hopefully things finish and get ready. Okay. So, the crows came, and I was in the process. I had done the process of naming my fears and releasing my fears and my limitations, and coming forward, just having some rest and building up the fire so that could rise into the heavens and burn away from me. And then I just sat quietly for a while and I thought, all right, my job is to call up the energy. And I never would before this moment have felt, it would have felt presumptuous to me. And I thought, you know what? It is part of stepping into who you are. It's part of stepping into who we are, all of us. So each with our own purpose, meaning your energy set point, and with your own mission, that which arrives into you because of your energy set point. So this is mine. It's no different than Spirit saying the magnitude of yours. And so I'm just going to do my best to keep putting that notion forward. So I turned around. I had the urge, and I was walking around the fire, and I was chanting, and I just thought, you know what? It's my job to call the energy out. That's why I'm here. That's part of why I've been here all these years. I've been blessed with this place of being, so I could be cloistered so deeply until I knew myself all the way. And I don't think that process ever stops. But clearly, for me, over the last year and a half, or year and 3/4, an enormous amount of shift and change, just like all the shift and change you've been going through as the cards have been coming out and we've been having these stories come out about what we're doing and why and how. So I thought, all right, I'm just going to go for it. And I spent some time just calling the energy forward and uncovering that which has been dormant here for a long time. And I feel a felt sense of this being a place for people to come together. Some of us, many of us, Spirit saying, who've been together before, so that we can continue the work that we've been doing. And because we are in this pathway of energy shift and change, and being able now to learn about the kinds of downloads that I get. And we'll talk a little bit about it. Let me check my time. It's 12:30. So I'm intending to go till 2 o'clock. All right. Just so you know, I'm surrendering. And Spirit saying it's the same with the readings. Part of what's going to happen, the only reading you can get from me is 2 hours long. I haven't taken it off my website yet, but you know what? It's what always happens anyway. And I am meant to be acknowledging what is actually happening. So you're going to get a visit into the spirit realm, and I'm going to be the one saying the words. And we'll have some deep conversations. So just so you know, 2 hours seems to be the nugget that Spirit likes. So anyways, my gosh, Spirit, help me focus. I did call up the energy. I had a really intense experience this morning. When I got back into the house, so whatever, I think on this day, of course it's destiny, isn't it, for all of us? Given everything that we've come through. And Spirit's talking about all of humanity. G-Dot, you have downloads too. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Here's what's true. Here's when I was doing my ceremony this morning, just doing my best to really self-reveal and really be self-present and really be, I'm gonna show you some cards in a minute. But here's what came up. Okay. Can you guys see that? I'm looking at the chat and not the view window. So you know what? Maybe I can. Hang on. Ooh, look at that. Yes, I can do it. No. I'm playing with my computer to see if I can move the pages around. Hang on. Come on, darn you. It won't move. Yeah, this piece won't move. All right. So, anyways, there is. Now something happened. Okay. That's one of the cards that came out while I was standing out there. And this is my past life regression vision. And there were many. Because, while I was doing the release your fears things, there's a part of me that, maybe not all of us, but many of us, we resist. And we think about what else we could have, and we think about what else we could manifest, and we think about the things that we are not engaging with. in all the ways we don't engage with them, right? So I've been relatively content. However, once in a while, I think to myself, honey, what? Stop it. Go have some fun. You're overly serious all the time. Would you please go have some fun? So I was having that conversation with myself and with spirit and my guides and the place, the land, the quartz crystals that are here. And the crows came and I was doing all the things I was doing. And when the crows came, of course, because they are the mystical realm, the representation of the mystical realm, then I went inward and I went out for a little journey and I saw myself. And Mark, you've talked with me about this, and I want to thank you for being brave enough to say that and to help me think that through about what my pathway has been. So, there we are. There we are. That's how I feel on the inside, right? Just standing there, absorbing whatever comes in order to be working with and managing that is what Spirit says, okay? So this is where I am now. And it was a beautiful portrayal of what came through when I was out in the ceremony ground this morning. So, like the promise of the moon, it is a renewal. It's a culmination. And it is the illumination of what is meant to come forward. So, you know what? I'm going to shrink this down. See if I can. No, that didn't work. All right, hang on. I'm going to do my best. It won't. Maybe. No, it won't stick. I'm trying to get it to move so I can play with YouTube at the same time. All right, whatever. Let me just see before I launch, okay? Yes, you know what, G-Dot? Here's the other thing. Here's how I know. And again, it's all of us, I think. What's been happening to me, and I know sort of all these indications about seeing those repeating numbers, literally for 2 months. Maybe since May. July, okay, longer than I was thinking. When I look at the clock, every time I look at the clock, every time, a series of ones, or it's 1212, or it's, some kind of repetitive number. So, because I've been cloistered, and part of me still wants to be cloistered because I just want the energy to come to me. I know we have lots of notions and ideas about what that means. I'm cloistered, so I don't care, right? I'm like, oh, well, okay, well, maybe that stuff's true because now I'm having the experience. So yes, there's transformation. So let's see. So Suze, I'm reading your message. If we're busy with the collective reunion, yeah, bliss. That's how I'm feeling today. Just blissed out and deep in my own 12th house. And just in order to have the moment and to acknowledge it with all of you. Hi, Krista. Yeah. So, here's the thing. When you're a hermit, you can't relate, can you? And it's one of the things I used to be mad at formal religion, because people would give, Spirit saying, they pontificate a little bit, and yet they stand apart from society. So there's a plus and a minus to that. So standing apart from society for me has allowed me to take up my mission, to understand my purpose, which is my energy, and to be willing to have it and experience it, even though it's pretty weird in light of, typical U.S. society. Or, well, Spirit saying pretty much any Western society, Northern Hemisphere, right? So, I believe that many of us that are here in these moments have had many lifetimes before, and we have come ready and queued up, Spirit saying, for the next for the next evolution. And we know, and I started saying this whenever I put the readings for the month up. Yeah, we're seeing these we have these things that happen. For me, I'm lucky the spirit comes and clonks me over the head with a sledgehammer, with the mystical stuff, right? So, in a way, I realize how easy it is for me. And how other people who, spirit saying, are stuck in the mire. Meaning, you're doing your life, you got your wife and your husband, your kids and the dog and the cars and the mortgages and the whatever, right? It's harder. And in some ways, you are the true warriors because you're there in the middle of all of that. And I got to just come here and sit in my cave for a while until I was ready to emerge, until the moment was right. So I'm feeling although it sounds obvious, I feel like, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be in relationship, sacred marriage, all the things that are happening in the heavens today, right? In this way. That's what's right for me. And that's why I've been unable in my human journey to seek out a human relationship, a partnership. And, it took me a long time to just sort of figure out, no, I can't do it. So I feel released from that today, which is a little shocking and a little frightening for me. I've been feeling it coming. Spirit's been sort of whispering in my ear and telling me, all right, So that is a joyful moment too, because yes, this period of my life has come to culmination, as it must, in order to be able to welcome people here and to be walking with the teaching that's meant to come through me about the type of energy that is here. And I have had some visions about the tapestry. There's a lot of stuff that I understand that's going to be coming forward, I think, through the end of the year about weaving the tapestry. So that's just kind of the state of being that I'm in today, and I'm loving it, and I'm so grateful for everyone who's here, because never in my life did I imagine I would ever be doing something like this, and yet here I am. So Spirit wants you to know, if you're here, Spirit's saying, understand it has a meaning and it has a purpose. I believe that those of us that vibrate with certain energies that come through, obviously we all have our own path and purpose, and it's all magical and beautiful. I try not to judge it. But we do find each other. And so this notion of past life travelers, and people talk about twin flames, and there's discussions about energetic pathways with other people. Spirit's going, yeah, and there's a lot to talk about because of what's evolving. And now it's time for us to actually be with each other, to have a discussion. And instead of having a shocking, meeting, and I've had many of them, how about if we, Spirit's saying, how about if we skill up gradually and develop the capacity to move into our destiny, all the things that we all talk about, right? Different dimensions, different types of vibrations, what they're for. So we're going to look at that when it comes to love relationships. I've had some awareness about all of that stuff. And we're going to be looking into, one of the things I think I'm going to be doing is helping you look into the very deeper mystical aspects of your chart and what it means from an energy standpoint and who you are on the tapestry. How is it that your being vibrates? How do you know yourself because of that? And if you want love and you want marriage and you want a mate, who are you looking for? Right? What is it meant for in your life? So we're going to talk about all that stuff. And I think that there are going to be some classes that I'm going to lead, Spirit saying. We have had one group astro travel event. And Tani, I read your email, by the way. And I will have an answer for you about that. I think that was a beautiful vision that you had. We'll talk about it. So we're going to be doing more of that, and Spirit's reminding me. So today, because I'm open, I'm just going to walk in the energy. And I think tonight, I have to go out a little bit later this afternoon and visit with some family. My sister's here from out of town, which I didn't anticipate. So I'm going to have another travel journey tonight. For sure, I'm taking the moment. And so I am inviting anyone who wants to go along, all right? So, okay, Spirit's telling me 8 o'clock. So 8 p.m. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and I think the fire went out. So I'm going to go out and reignite the fire and just keep that burning. So if you have any way to ignite a candle or, a votive or a fire, depending on where you are on this day, do it. Because it is a day when Spirit's talking about the energy of the tapestry on this day. We've come to, yes, it's a culmination of the travel we've been doing. It's also an illumination, and there's a new start coming. Spirit's telling me, okay, so we're going to draw some cards. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to look at the chat, and we'll talk a little bit more, okay? And then I'm going to show you the cards that came out when I was doing my ceremony this morning. Let's see. Okay, Susan, I'm reading your message about courtship, amping up for the ceremony. Bridegroom awaiting the main event. Yeah. And I was standing out there calling in the male energy because if you guys have been following my channel, since the full moons and the eclipses and whatever, that's been coming through loud and clear. I've been calling it in. And I was actually gifted with a new friend who has been helping me or had helped me for a while with some things. So I know there's a return of that to my life. I got to get ready, right? And I think I was saying it. Like it's time for me to prepare because if that happens, I might want to be available, right? So yeah. Hey, Joanne, you're at work? Oh my gosh, you're awesome. Hey, Wally, do me a favor, will you please? Would you send me an email? I tried to send you an email yesterday, and I thought that we had communicated by email, but I couldn't figure out what your email was. So would you send me one? Because I want to send you some information about the group gathering that's happening here, okay? Anna, you like the word culminate. Yeah, it is a day to release our fears. Joanne, you've had hummingbirds? Wow. And numbers. Yeah. Amber, hi. Glad you're here. Susie, you think it's tough for a perfectionist Virgo to be engaged with new and innovative things as well as unconditional love? Hey, Spirit's saying my egg was hatched in Catholicism, so it all worked out. And no disrespect to anybody. There are 8 siblings in my family. Classic Irish family, right? And one of my siblings is extraordinarily devout. Drives the rest of us crazy. We love him, but he found his path and he had a near-death experience and it drove him into the deep mystical also information that is, I think, somewhere underneath all of that dogma. So you never know. The Aries phenomena remembers the wounded healer. And Tanya, you're skilling up. You know what, Suze? Yeah, the original mate. Well, and that, right, so the whole notion of being mated, right? If you take on becoming a nun in the Catholic Church, you're literally marrying yourself to God. And I think those women wear rings, right? So what I was able to discern pretty early on was, oh, I'm marrying myself to a bunch of rules that all those men are telling me. Fork that. Thank God, that I have whatever I have that made me come through like this, okay? I was given a little Aries, and it has also been my challenge, like for all of us. Susan, I'm reading your message. Huh. Okay. Susan, you're going to have to send me an email so that we can continue that conversation. All right, Wally, thank you. Because I need to be in touch with you. So what's going to happen here is tomorrow, Mars goes stationary direct. Spirit says, and sound the hallelujah chorus. All right. So, Susie, you want to know where I'm the oldest girl. I'm the next matriarch of the family, and my family is giant. All right. Susie, did you say something naughty? YouTube just held your comment. That's funny. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. You know what? Whatever, right? It's time to stop judging. Yeah, Suze, you know what? Go and book. Go to the website and book your reading. Spirit wants you to do it. All right. So, thank you. That was a long ramble. I've got 12:50. So, I'm going to toggle into my viewfinder. I'm going to show you some cards, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the eclipse. You know what? One of the things that happened this morning that just gave me a literal panic attack. This happened to me before. I came in from the ceremony grounds, and I burned my computer. I don't know what happened. This happens to me sometimes. I forgot, right? And I went upstairs and I took a shower because I was full of dirt and ashes and smoke. And I came running back down to turn the computer on to try to finish my prep for this event. And I touched the computer like that, and I just went, gone. And I thought, I'm going to have to cancel it. Maybe none of us are meant to be doing this today. Maybe we're just meant to be feeling the moon. All right, so there's the cards. Those are the cards about me and about Moonrise Cottage. So one of the things I love about the spread, and I'm not going to spend much time there, I just wanted to just sort of talk to you a little bit about my mission, my energy, my purpose, right? So Spirit's telling me the dreamer, that was the first card out. That's how I came through. That's me with all my stuff in the 12th house. Okay. If I can get this into the camera. So that is how I feel. And it's part of the reason I've been having this urge to just sort of go and live in that place. Because whoever it is that talks to me, whatever it is that I get, I just need quiet, I think. Or I just need quiet. I think I just need quiet till I could get far enough along my road, because my purpose, pardon me, in this journey that I've been on is to stand in the world in the ways that we see. So I think what we're seeing is a little bit about the current moment. All right, so the star card is the card over the top, the topic that Spirit wanted to talk to me about. And that's where I'm at now. Clearly a culmination, right? Illumination, culmination, one-on-one with the spirit realm. Interesting that it's a male figure there, because Spirit's been telling me to put the sword down of the Aries and let the Virgo sift up to the top. It's one of the things I've had to do in order to be out here and be by myself. and do all the things that need to be done here. And, I was telling somebody else, I've been my own husband, right? So that's on the top. And it's time now I get permission to put that down a little bit. So maybe it's because, again, that part of my journey is done. I guess I'm just going to take it as that. Spirit's shaking my hand and saying, good job, thanks a lot. Now get out. That's how it feels to me. Okay, you're done. Time for that other person to come to the surface. So, you folks who've been following along, you can look at these cards and you kind of know, right? So on the human realm, that's me this morning. On the bottom left, that's me standing out in the ceremony grounds. That is the rune for fertility. And next to that, the signification within this deck, in a sense, Virgo, right? The king of earth, the king of knowledge, sitting in his place, having reached the top of his destiny, abundance. And that's part of what I was manifesting this morning was abundance. Pardon me. So I just have been going forward in all of these ways for many, many years. And it is because of my reincarnation journey. There we see it. And, one of the things I like about the human realm spread is that it is reflective of the information downloads that I've been getting about the different elements and what it is to be standing by a fire and sending smoke into the air, into the atmosphere, sending prayers and intentions forward, sitting on the ground, thinking about reincarnation journeys or having a vision of a reincarnation journey or multiple, as I did this morning. I've actually had them before. When I was pregnant for my kids, I had things like that happen. And I could see their souls incarnating. I could see their faces. I kind of knew who they were. So, the king of earth sits there with the rune for defense. It's very interesting. And basically, the message is just continue to do your right actions, because more so than doing, the most important thing is deciding. So there's some discomfort for us when we go through a process and step out and step in and uncover and reveal. And that's the process I'm going through and have been going through since I started this channel. And it continues because I'm meant to be here, standing in the way that elk stands there, knowing that I've come across, understanding what my journey's been about, in order to leap out like the beautiful salmon in the quest of art. And one of the things I love about this is that the rune that stands there on the last card on the human realm is about coming through a place of disruption. It's awesome. And it's about elemental power, deep power, the type of power that we want to achieve through our spiritual growth, and what it is to have your life disrupted in the ways mine has been disrupted. I can't tell. There we go. All these years, all these many years. And now, because of the eclipse, there we are, Pisces energy. Time for me to emerge. So I'm looking forward to it. And part of what I'm looking forward to is just to have some fun because I've been so serious for so many years. So transitioning back, there's manifestation happening. It looks to me like in this last cycle from the new moon to this full moon, I have been bursting through my illusions and seeing some of the difficulties, some of the past, some of what's been happening to bring myself to this new foundation so that I can remember myself and have the new life that's coming forward. So that's what's going on with me. And I think what Spirit would like to do is to talk a little bit about the eclipse. All right, I'm going to toggle over and talk with you folks again. I'm going to shuffle the cards. Okay? Let's see. Oh, Suze, that's nice. You know, we'll see. I think in these moments what's called on for me. Ooh, now I'm getting all choked up. And it's true for all of us, is to just remember ourselves. Just know yourself, know who you are. And I've said this in lots of different ways, I think. You know, until you know who you are and you're standing in the circle of your own life, how can you look out and find a partner, right? I mean, what kind of partner do you want? Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to cloister themselves for 10 years like I did. That was long enough for me, you know. The spirits tell me you loved it. I did. I loved it. I loved it. So now I have to learn. Oh, okay. See, here's the point. Now I have to learn, just like we all have to learn, how to come together, right? And so there's all the information that's coming through about that and about the energy stream and the tapestry and how it affects your set point and all that kind of stuff, right? So if you want a relationship, the first question is not who would it be, it's who am I? So I think we're going to be talking about that a lot. And hopefully I have something relevant to say after being cloistered for 10 years. And you know what? It's interesting. This is the anniversary of when I stepped in to that state of being. I hadn't thought about that. Okay, 10 years. Long enough for me. So let's see. All right. Yeah, well, you're way outside the box. Yep. And that's what happens. I think that's why sometimes these journeys are hard, because I think it's not going to be true anymore. But many of us have had to struggle with that self-identifier of being outside the box and being... Cards coming out already. Oh, here we go. Spirit's talking to us about being... Can you guys see that? There you go. Spirit says, there you go. All right. It's about that. It's about being able to touch each other's energy field and utilize that to reach a goal and overcome obstacles. Okay. Interesting. Oh, here we go. I don't know why they're just coming out like this, so I'm just showing them. All right. We'll talk about the eclipse and stuff in a few minutes, Spirit says. And yep. Oh. You know what? Allison, standing in the circle of your own light. Yeah, to love that so much. Hi, Timmy. Hi, Anna. Anna G's here. Hi. Hang on, I'm just going to back up a little bit, make sure I know who's here. Okay. And you know what? If I skip over you, pop up again, just put a little hi so I can see that you're here, okay? Hi, Carmen. So yeah, that's what we're meant to do, right? Stand in the circle of our own lives. I did a reading last week with someone who had been involved in what they had identified as twin flame. So I think going forward, we're going to talk about that a lot. We're going to talk about fated meetings and karmic stuff and past life people who show up, because I don't know, you tell me, would you please, folks, am I the only one that this happens? Tell me that this is happening for you. I know that part of what I've been doing is drawing it in, because my energy had to be in this place in order to build and build and build and build so that I could do my mission. I know because of the stuff I see on YouTube that there are some people who are having energetic meetings, and there's a lot of sort of desire to relate that to romance, and my spirit guides are kind of going, there's a lot. And yes, for some people, sure, right? But there's more than that going on. Okay? And Spirit says if we pause for a minute and we think about it, we know there's more going on than that in those moments. So Joanne, it's happening for you. Yeah. Happening for me too. Okay. Part of what's happening for me, it's been a very, very hot and humid summer here. And the cards that I have, the plastic coating is literally coming off. So I have to be careful because until it's released a certain amount, then it pulls the paint off the card. So, all right, I'm going to keep going. So you know what? While I'm shuffling, I made a whole bunch of notes just for me to sort of remember because I'm not an astrology person, but I'm going to be. Bears tell me. Joanne, you don't know how it's possible. You're preparing for something, and that's fabulous. And I think that's what we're all meant to be doing on this day. So you know what? Let's talk a little bit about the eclipse. I'm just gonna. Did you folks get to watch that video that I posted? If you're in the live stream community, you got a message about this event with some links in it. I will post the links in the show more section below the video when we're done. All right. So go look. I'm sure most of you have. One of the things that's very interesting to me, because we're on the topic of relationships, Venus is square Pluto in Capricorn, of all places. Can you imagine? And that square is going exact tomorrow on the day when Mars goes forward. So I think there's going to be a lot of endings. So that's two things I think are going to be happening. Because we're in a moment of illumination and culmination, a lot of endings. So brace yourself, and if you're feeling it, it's coming, I think. And then fated meetings. You know, Pluto arguing with Venus, that's a fight I want to see, personally. And I think it's tearing down the walls of love energy. And so when I talk about the downloads and the things that have started to weave into me as information that I have to sort of work with it and translate it into English, I love that. I love it, right? So if it, Pluto tearing down the walls, in a sense, of this square with Venus, on the day when Mars goes station direct. Think about the power and the potential of the change to love energy and what we feel and what we experience, and Spirit saying, and what we know. That's what's happening. And that's why this eclipse season is culminating with this beautiful full moon eclipse in Pisces. There is literally love energy raining down upon us, literally. And God bless Pluto, right? And here, in this moment, to bring the full force and the full power of the shift and change on the day when the square goes exact, Mars station direct. There's just something massive is happening. And I'm seeing a vision right now of myself just walking out of the door. Spirit saying, you are coming out. You're coming out into the light of the day now, having been in your little hermitage, because everybody else is coming out too, and now you have playmates, which I'm really looking forward to. Okay. Yeah, you've been preparing. Joanne, you don't know how it's possible? Mystic Agent, hi. It's funny. I've been getting some downloads. Okay, so time of self. Humanity's to understand their own system. Yes, exactly. Yeah, endings and fated meetings, and the beginning. I always resisted, the discussion about love relationships. Spirit's telling me that's about over. Partly because my set point, I'm a shy Virgo. Yeah, I'll talk about it, but the reason I resist is because I'm so deep and private that it causes me to feel as though I'm going to be outed, and I don't like that. So, yeah, the shift and change in love energy and how it is able to come through, how it's coming through in this moment, and how it is meant for us to work with it and feel it. And Mystic Agent, Spirit's saying that's what me and you are going to be doing together. There's something that's percolating, just so you know. Do you feel it? Do you? What? I'm dying to find out what's going on with you, because you keep popping into my mind, and I've learned over the years when that happens, when someone, I'm throwing logs on the fire, whatever I'm doing, sweeping the floor, and all of a sudden I know. So there's something percolating. Is your project moving forward? I know. I love the internet. I'm just we're ahead of the curve. Muggles. I like it. Joanne, you're an earthy sag. Ooh. Dimmy, tomorrow is your birthday? Oh my God. Okay. I can't wait to talk, Mystic Agent. All right. So I just think there's some creating that's going on. Okay, I'm just going to say this. With all humility, Spirit's telling me you're the next one in the vault. Which means, we're going to have some intense relating, I think, is what's going to happen. Okay. You feel it. You're moving forward. Oh! Ooh. Okay, so I'm excited about that. All right, so back to the crazy notes that I tried to make. I should have done it 3 days ago. All right. So, big stuff in the realm of the reordering of love energy. Pluto, right? Square, I think it's a square, right? Exact tomorrow with Venus. A tower moment when it comes to love energy and how love energy is able to come through here. And then a very rapid expansion and movement forward with a moment of pause. The whole vision of the whole thing is fabulous. I love every single part of it. The Spirit's talking about, when you have a fancy car and you turn it on, you just gun the engines and you get ready to rocket forward. That's what that's all about. Spirit's saying, yeah, rockets. Okay. Okay, who knows? I tried to look this up, but while my internet was down, all the prep that I was going to do after the ceremony this morning didn't get done. So there is one of the notions that came through really strong was the notion of the water bearer. And the last full moon eclipse, I think, was in Aquarius, in the constellation of the water bearer, pouring now love energy down into our sphere, into our realm here on the earth. And that notion has a lot to do with this tapestry stuff that's been coming through to me about how the energy weaves itself together, what it's for, how we're meant to understand it. Whoops, sorry, there goes my phone. Oh, that's my sister. She lives in Connecticut. One of her kids goes to school in Burlington. So they're driving through town. I forgot to turn the phone off, sorry. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's laying in the rain. Clarice, am I saying your name right? You're here from Tanzania? Oh my God. Joanne, your numbers are 12, 13. Yeah. Right. So the shift and change in love energy, and the way we are available. I've been talking all that stuff about whether I'm available, whether I'm not. It's true for all of us. How have we been available? What's been available? What's been on offer? how deep have we been able to go? And the shift and change, I think that's going to happen in the nature of relationships for those of us. So what I was starting to say is there is a star, formal halt or something like that. Who knows about that? It is stationed at 3 degrees in Pisces. It is related to the Archangel Gabriel and to Neptune and associated with spiritual healing. So these are the moments. And then there's this Earth trine that's happening while we have this eclipse in Pisces. And there's this formation of a kite. If you guys have seen that, if you watched that video, if you haven't, definitely go afterwards and watch it, okay? Okay, so, generally there is a great awakening of love energy here. A huge expansion with this Earth trine on this full moon in Pisces. Okay, I'm just looking at some notes I made about some of the downloads that came through over the last couple days. All right, you know what? I think I'm going to leave all these notes for another time, to tell you the truth. I think we've talked about most of it. So, Spirit's still talking about the water bearer. Yep, okay. You know what? I'm going to put these papers away because I'm being pulled into the reading, so I want to pay attention to that. Hi, Heather. Yeah. So I think my guess would be if we're seeing these repetitive numbers, then, look into the astrology of that and understand the energetic vibration of those things. Because coming forward, that's what is going to be happening here at Moonrise Cottage. We're going to literally study energy. One of the things I was seeing this morning while I was out doing the fire was sort of a culmination point, not to make a pun, of all the different types of information that I have come across in my lifetime and engaged with. I trained as a homeopathic medical practitioner for 8 years. Mark, kind of like the life you've had. And I know many of you, because we've all been in transition. So I learned about music. I studied some of the sacred geometry stuff. I've looked at vibration and energy pathways in a lot of different ways. And then I just sort of sat with it. Spirit says, took it into my being and just let it percolate while I was here in my little hermitage, having my little solitary existence. You're seeing lots of fun. Tani, you're seeing 1s and 4s. Your birthday is 4/14, and your birthday is 104. All right, so Tani, thank you, because that's part of what we're going to start doing together. It's part of, there's a lot of change coming as I go forward. Just so you all know, what's going to happen is some dear friends of mine that I met actually through my YouTube channel are coming here in, I think on the 14th of September, so 2 weeks from now. And we're going to empty this house out, and the house is just going to get a complete redo, which I've been waiting for many years, and some finished work. The tiles are going to be put on the floor finally, stuff like that. And I'm going to be a busy bee. But there are going to be changes that are coming to what is offered and what is taught here, Spirit saying. And so we're going to literally be having classes about, I like that one, the energy vibration of the numerology that is buried within your chart that affects your being and the type of life you have and how you understand your purpose, meaning your vibration, which also comes through the astrology and the moments that arrive and how they are meant to tune your instrument so you can go forward. That's what we're going to be doing, I think, over the next year. Spirit's been talking a lot. Had a long talk this morning with Queen Maeve, actually. Spirit says she's my namesake, or I'm her namesake, or however that works. Okay, guys. So, tell you what. While I finish shuffling the cards, everybody just sort of take a deep breath and visualize us standing together in a circle because we are meant to be here together. Let's pull forward some prophecy, Spirit says. Okay? About the year coming. Move this a little bit. Okay, and you know what? Just for fun, let's play with the runes, Spirit says. Marie Antoinette, I'm reading your message. You got the intuition to share for all the community. A life insight, and then the card fell from the deck. Right. Synthesis. Right. So that's what we're going to talk about going forward. What it is to, and I don't know if this is the right word, to synergize your energy. Right. So, you know, we talk about it all the time. We talk about we're on our spiritual path and raising our vibration, all the things that that's supposed to mean. And Spirit's saying, and you know, in some way, we don't really believe it because we haven't experienced it. And we're coming into the time when the energy that's coming in, and because of all the eclipses and all the things that have happened, setting the stage for our time, our next phase of learning about all those things. Because we have to learn to believe it or we're not going to be able to create what it is we want here. Spirit's talking about the paradise that we want to have here. And so that's why Pluto's been here creating all the chaos. And, you know, true all around the globe, the rise of a certain type of power, a certain type of mindset, in order for that to just be released. And Spirit's saying, so it could rear its ugly head and get the beat down that it deserves. That's why Pluto's here. Let's just look at it right in our face, okay? And at the same time, all this magical stuff is going on, seemingly in the background, but also right in our face if we pay attention to it. All right. So let's ask for some runes, okay? Let's pick 3. Some messages for the clarity of this reading and within this group that is here and the whole community, how it is we go forward. what it is we can manifest, and what the destiny is meant to be. Ah, look at that, you guys. That's the room for warriorship. I love it. All right, hang on. I have to toggle out of the chat. All right, can you see that? That's the rune of the warrior. I love it. And it's sitting here like this, okay? That's how it is in the reading that just came out. So that's very good. I like it. Okay. Woo! Partnership. All the things that Spirit's been talking about. One more. And you know what? Look. The downside of doing it this way is that you guys can't see the spread. Okay, so that's the rune for partnership sitting here on this foundation of battle. Okay, this is about a warrior who's been through his initiation, and it's sitting on the table right next to the card for initiation. Okay. Okay, one more. Yeah, Spirit's talking about relating with the self and then relating with the other with a capital O. Talking about relationships. Intimate relationships between humans and the relationship that we have with the flow of creation. That's what's coming through. Okay. Love it. Okay. So, all right. Let's go through these cards. I'm going to toggle back to the chat for a minute and just see. Yeah, the game of transformation. Absolutely. Hi, Kimber Kiss. Hey, glad to have you here. All right. So, let's see. Where to start? All right. Spirit says start at the beginning, of course. All right. I'm going to go through these cards rather quickly because I've prattled on for an hour and a half, which is hard to believe. Pardon me. All right. So the first card is what we've been talking about. You know, and it's interesting because I had like 4 pages of things. There's a lot of interweaving that's about to happen and that I'm sort of queued up to talk about. I think today's not the day because I'm not able to focus on it the way it needs to be focused on. And because we're talking about this eclipse in Pisces and this just the rain of love energy that's coming into this planet in these moments, while there seems to be chaos on the surface, there is something else that's actually on the surface, and there we are. And that's what we've been talking about, huh? Okay. Beautiful love energy. A certain type of courtship, an artful courtship with the energy, with each other for sure, and with the energy that comes in order to overcome the obstacles, Spirit's saying, that keep us from what we call the 5D existence. So we're going to try, I think we're coming right to the edge of that through the end of the year. And I'm going to do my best to not get caught up in the lingo of all that stuff. I'm going to have to use some of the popular vernacular just so we understand each other. And I'm going to do my best. But that is what Spirit wants to talk about. That's what this eclipse is about. Coming together in a form of sacred marriage on some level. Joining our forces, joining our energies, overcoming obstacles in a way that is peaceful and joyful and allows that which is meant to come forward to arise. And I love that message. Okay, so that's the theme of the reading. Here's us in this moment. No doubt, right? Spirit's just kind of going, yeah, that's it. So for the remainder of the day, if you get a chance to be calm and be quiet and be the hermit, just for this day if you can, and ready yourself for the energy of tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be another day that's going to be awesome. So, this lovely moment when you just go really deep and you allow yourself to just be in communion with whatever is attempting to come through to you. All right? This is the card that indicates us in these moments as we walk through this eclipse and the days coming forward, because I'm assuming you all know it's 6 months minimum. And because we've had 3 eclipses in a row and all these powerful full moons and all the things that are happening, coming into the equinox, and Spirit's talking about winter. Yeah. Spirit's talking about the days of darkness and the days of light coming forward. We're still going to be in this energy. So it's a moment, because it's a moment of culmination and illumination. Whatever it is we capture on these days, that will stay with us. And those are the energies we're going to be working with, I guess. Certainly it's true for me. All right, so that's the first card on the human realm. Okay? Clearly, many of you, whether Spirit says whether you know it or not, you are being initiated into the topics that we've been discussing here today and that I've been discussing for a year and a half. Okay? And I love it. And there's the rune. So I'm going to read to you from the runes, okay? Hang on one sec. Okay, so this is about the warrior, the sacred warrior, or the sky god. So Spirit wants me to hold this up. Hang on a second. All right. Okay. This is the rune of the spiritual warrior, who is always in battle with the self, funding a will through action, yet unattached to outcomes, remaining mindful that all you can do is stay out of your own way and let the will of heaven flow through you. These are among the hallmarks of the spiritual warrior. Embodied in this rune is the energy of discrimination, the sword-like quality that enables you to cut away the old, the dead, and the extraneous. And yet with the warrior rune comes certain knowledge that the universe is always has the first move. Patience is the virtue of this rune, and it recalls the words of St. Augustine that the reward of patience is patience. You are asked to look within, to delve down to the foundations of life itself. Only in so doing can you hope to meet the deepest needs of your nature and tap into your most profound resources. The molding of character is at issue when you draw this rune. This is associated with the sun, with masculine energy, the active principle. The urge for conquest is powerful, especially self-conquest in these moments, which is a lifelong pursuit and calls for awareness, single-mindedness, and the willingness to undergo your passage with compassion and in total trust. When this rune comes in response to a relationship issue, it indicates that relationship is both timely and providential. The bond in this relationship is a real one. There is work for you to do together. If the issue concerns a devotion to a cause, an idea, or a path of conduct, the warrior rune counsels perseverance, although at times the kind of perseverance that is called for is patience. This is a rune of courage and dedication. In ancient times, this was the glyph that warriors painted on their shields before battle. Now the same symbol strengthens our resolve to align ourselves with the self. So, right? Everything we've been talking about. Warriorship, I talk about it a lot. What it means to be in relationship. Spirit's talking about in the post-eclipse world. So have your day today. Understand what the energy that's coming through is for, okay? And you can look that up online. Read as much as you want, study and read, and just have a day of quiet and let yourself absorb the energy that's literally coming in, because this is what's happening. These two cards, Spirit saying, are reflective of each other, because this warrior has been through his initiation. And he's now able to join with all the other warriors that are devoted to a sacred path, and that's Spirit in the background. Okay? Look at the beautiful clarity. I love it. It's awesome. And here's the last card on the human realm. Check it out. There we are. The courtship of battle, right? Pulling ourselves up, pulling each other up, putting the sword in the ground in order to pull each other up and come to some beautiful arrangement, agreement, assessment, a knowing after a battle. When warriors come to know each other through the type of battle that they've had. And I think clearly there's, because of all the chatter that's coming through me, it does have to do with human relationships in the broadest sense, but I think also love relationships. I think I started to tell you a story about, I did a reading for somebody who had been involved in a twin flame relationship that's in the process of ending, and what that experience was like. And basically that's it. You know, just a whole lot of karmic fighting and dueling, and just time, like Spirit says to me, time to put the sword in the ground now and go about your path, because it is not destined that those people are meant to stay together forever. We are here to awaken each other, and we're going to meet a lot of people in our pathway now. Just like Spirit's saying, that is the reason for the repetitive numbers, because we are being tuned, we are being trained to see something that we haven't seen before. So going forward, I know we're going to talk a lot about that. I'm going to do my best to sort of be humble about it, because in a sense, I was going to say, what do I know? I know a lot because I've been through it a lot. It happens to me with regularity. So, part of what Spirit's saying is, if you imagine that you have a kind of a life kind of like I have, right? Where several times a year, sometimes more, people show up and you have that kind of experience with them. You discover a past life mate or co-walker. Maybe we don't know exactly, but the feelings that people describe and all the 10 million videos that are on YouTube about that, right? A soulmate, a co-walker. What are you supposed to do? Mate yourself with all of them? Spirit says, So that's why Spirit kind of goes, Laurie, just hold your horses with the twin flame thing, because yes, there's truth to it. Absolutely. But the purpose of it is something far vaster than a mere human relationship. And most of those people are not meant to be mated irrevocably. They are meant to awaken each other. And just like the eclipse is attenuating our energy and flowing love energy, and it's the experience of that through our human form. And it does rock you off your foundation, I assure you. So I think we're being put on notice, and the bridge card is a strength card. Okay, so there's the female warrior. She pays attention to the flow of the energy. All right, so, and she actually, and she sits right above this guy. So, Spirit's talking about, the male energy going through its rite of passage, in a sense. The feminine energy, her rite of passage is following the energy. And it is Spirit's saying it's the pathway of the embodiment of the sacred feminine into human form. That's what we do, right? Very, very clearly. Just sort of showing, again, a little different attenuation in the energy field that we embody, whether you're a man or a woman. Pardon me. So, the rune, I forgot. The rune that's sitting on the dedicator of Lord, the Sacred Initiate, is the rune for partnership. And of course it's a partnership with the divine, with yourself. My voice is getting hoarse. Hang on. I'll read this to you. Okay. This is the rune Gebo, G-E-B-O. Drawing this rune is an indication that partnership in some form is at hand. You are put on notice that in all love relationships, business matters, and partnership, you are not to collapse yourself into that union. That's what Spirit was just talking about, right? So we're going to have to learn how to tolerate these love events And this eclipse, I think, is bringing forward the energy. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but today I just love. I just stand here and I feel love. And it's a wonderful thing. So Spirit wants us to breathe that in because of this moment. And the way, one of the things I was hoping to do or planning to do, which sort of got thrown by the wayside, is to go back over the readings that are for September that I did in cohorts. Spirit put them out that way because of the attenuation of the energy. And if you think about this eclipse and all the things, all the planets are in retrograde, and Pluto, Spirit keeps saying, having a fight with Venus. Pluto and Venus, who do you think's going to win that? Spirit's saying, you know, it's going to be Venus because love energy, right? Pluto can bring the destruction and the rebirth, but it is that vibrant string, those strings of love energy that are, in a sense, truly the creative force. Interesting it's coming out this way. Okay, so there is another aspect of partnership that you're being called to consider in these days going forward. The path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a greater union. Union with this higher self and union with the divine. Okay, Spirit's asking me. Oh, I put the card away already. Oh well, I was going to hold up the star card. The ultimate gift when you receive this rune is the realization of the divine in all things, which is always true as the divine enters into equal partnerships. The rune of partnership has no reverse, for it signifies the gift of freedom from which flows all other gifts. Love it. So, I don't know. I'm grateful that this is coming through this way. So I was sort of trying to figure out how do we get to that topic, because it's Spirit says it's a hot topic and it's time for us to address it. All right. So there's the courtship of battle. Okay. Spirit's talking about what I just read. So, you know, partnership, yes, you don't want to collapse yourself. You need to be able to stand in your place. And from there, look for your partner. Ask for your partner to arrive, actually, is what Spirit's telling me. Manifest that. And then don't get into the, you know, Spirit saying, you know, once your partner has arrived, then how do you go forward together, right? How do you manage your life? How do you understand that this is why you're together, right? To have whatever the struggles are so that you can pull each other up into the place that you're meant to be and reach a state of joy. That's what it's for, okay? So that actually, hang on a second. Let me find the page and I'll read it to you. That is the rune for joy. And it is the culmination of the progress of, hang on, getting a download. Okay, Spirit's talking about the natural progression of when the portal opens, because it is a portal today, right? And the love energy comes forward. What the progression of a relationship is supposed to be. So when we're talking about the attenuation of the energy that comes through the tapestry, the astrology, the numerology joined together with the astrology, that helps us understand, has helped me to come to some form of understanding about the way that creates and attenuates the vibration. There is, I believe there is actual, okay, Spirit's been talking to me about the sound vibration and the literal vibration and the way we're going to learn to carry that. So that's what this next year is going to be about. It's going to be about discovering that. And it is meant to change the nature of our relationships to help us become more aware of what they're all about. And the place in which it brings us toward, which is joy, which is theoretically anyways, what we all say that we want all the time. All right, page 115. I don't know why I can't. Pardon me, I'm actually kind of having trouble reading today. Okay, there it is. Okay. So this is about light. And it's one of the things that Spirit's been talking about, is the light. One of the things we're going to be, thank you for the reminder. Okay, so one of the things that I know about is something that I call light language. And it does have to do with the vibration, and it does have to do with how it is two beings come together and what happens when your energy literally does fuse, like the twin flame and the past life stuff that happens for people. So what's that? What is the language that's embedded in that? And if you think that your soul snapped in half before you're incarnated and suddenly you found the other half of yourself, what does that mean? I mean, that's a construct that I can't totally buy into. I think I came through here whole as a soul here to incarnate to have a journey. So I don't know everything there is to know. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I really tend to think it's about something else that's going on. But no matter what the explanation is, the experience is true. And we have these experiences, and we then come to feel joy for the first time. And we feel love being expressed through our heart chakra and all the other chakras. You get a Kundalini awakening. And then we have to understand what that's about. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm not going to go into it because we don't have enough time. So this is about a fruit-bearing branch. The term of travail is ended, and you've come to yourself in some regard. So we have crossed over. We have just to use the popular terms, our vibration has attenuated to the next place in order to be able to receive the information that's coming on the vibration highway. That's what all of this has been about for the last year for sure. And if you think, Spirit's saying, if you think about it, how it sort of ramped up and ramped up and ramped up and ramped up and ramped up, the way a diamond gets formed. More pressure, more pressure, more pressure, more pressure, more pressure over time. And then something amazing happens. That's what's going on with us. And the way the pressure is happening is through vibration. So those are the things, those are the downloads. Somebody was asking me, what are the downloads? It's just a lot of stuff that has to do with that. Okay. So, the shift that was due has occurred. And now you can freely receive the blessings of joy, whether they be in material gain or your emotional life, or in a heightened sense of your own well-being. This is an alchemical moment in which understanding is transmuted from knowledge. The knowledge itself was a necessary but not sufficient condition. And now you can rejoice, having been carried across the gap by the will of heaven. Joyousness accompanies new energy. Spirit wants me to pause there, okay, to drive home the point of the shift and change in the energy, because it's coming through the water set point, and it is been ushered here by the air element, okay, the water bearer constellation that holds Aquarius. So there's a lot of weaving going on. That's why Spirit's been talking about weaving the tapestry. I finally get it. I now can see and understand. So my job going forward is to help you see and understand so that we can travel in that direction together. So that we can vibrate and bring the change that we want just by standing, which is what Spirit's been talking about. Just stand in your life, okay? Light has pierced the clouds and touches the waters just as something lovely emerges at the meeting place of heaven and earth, the meeting of the waters. There is a new clarity which may call for you to renounce your existing plans, ambitions, and goals. I think that's about Venus and Pluto. And come into this moment because it is proper and timely for you to do so. This is a rune of restoration of the self, properly aligned with the self. Love it. So, we've been watching Pluto like a giant, Spirit says, trash his way across the universe for, in the sign of Capricorn, the earth sign, just putting us all through hell. All the inhabitants of earth, the poor Capricorns and the earth signs have been through the worst of it, right? And then we see in these moments all this healing starting to evolve, right? So Pluto is the destroyer, but it's also to shapeshift the form. And now in this moment of Pisces, in this beautiful eclipse that is coming out as the water bearer, and yes, with Chiron involved and the star of that represents Neptune and Archangel Gabriel, all that healing coming on the heels of all of that. Spirits keeps showing me an image of a giant with a club in his hand. Just like in some of those movies that we see, and they just crash and everything right down. That's what's been going on. And now, Spirit says, and now we get that. It's awesome. So on the spirit realm for this reading, there's the tapestry. The moment, okay, now I'm going to cry. Okay, so this is what I've been told over the last couple of months. This is what's coming forward. Okay, this is the beautiful goddess, the queen of knowledge. And she is literally here. She has come through. Spirit's talking about through the water bearer and through Chiron, because I think there's something happening with Chiron in this eclipse as well. Somebody who knows about that, put it on the chat, okay? So it is, and I've been, as those of you who've been following along, I got told it's time to ignite the tapestry because we're going forward now, and it's time to just ignite it. So that's what's happening. We're going to be having more journeys, and I am, my intention is to find a male partner who's available to me to continue to have that journey, right? So that's interesting. I did hear it. I heard what just came out of my mouth. I'm just laughing at myself. Okay. And there's the gateway, right? That is the place in which we stand. The beautiful high priestess, the guardian of truth, the guardian of the gateway with the great mother, right? And next to her, so look at that. Here's the other thing. All right. So on the bottom row, we see all about, in a sense, male energy. And on the top, look, that's what we've got. It's amazing. And it's backwards. I always forget that. Hang on. It's like this. Okay. So, coming into a place of balance. You see that? Libra energy, Gemini energy, Spirit's talking about the Great Mother and the High Priestess. So I chattered a lot this morning about my Spirit's calling it my domicile, my hermitage. In a sense, it is a metaphor for what all of us have been going through. And I've been here in my little pocket of woods. I'm not that far removed from society, but far enough. I can walk around my property naked. No one's going to bother me. We've all been having our own internal hermitage and been under the weight of human destiny and hidden. And now it is time for the energy to go forward. The male and female energy, again, yin and yang, turning this destiny with the beautiful water sign element. And here's the outcome. Look, destiny, the woman of skill. We are holding this wheel of destiny in our hands in this moment on this day of eclipse. I have no doubt. And there's the water element, and she stands on the earth, which was one of the things that I meant to just delve into deep. I just can't today because I'm just vibrating too hard. I am having trouble reading my own writing and stuff like that. So, all right. So those are the cards. I'm going to transition back to the chat and we'll talk a little bit more and then I got to head out. Okay, let's see. Backing way up, guys. Okay, so Wally, you just sent your email. Kimmer hi. Oh my gosh. I mean, having a birthday on this day or on tomorrow is just amazing. Yeah, I'm reading Heather's comment to Kimberkiss about um, Taurus. God bless you. You know, the earth signs we are, you know, it's interesting because we've had Pluto and Capricorn, we've got Uranus and Taurus, we've got, I think, and there's a square there too. There's just a lot of intensity here on the earth. And then we have this beautiful water sign energy that is just flowing in and bringing the healing that's meant to come because the time is right. And it's incredibly beautiful. And then I believe and I haven't looked at the astrology, but when that process finishes, and I think coming into next year, we're going to have a lot of air energy, a lot of fire energy. And they are going to take up the next step, I think. There's stuff coming through about that. I'll be interested to see if the astrology backs it up. Yeah, Kimberkiss, good notion. Is there anybody here that's a Pisces? Is there any Pisces energy here with us? Marie Antoinette, you have Moon in Pisces. Kimberkiss says yes. Anna, is it Anna or Anna? How do you say it? Anna has Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising. Oh my God, Spirit's just saying, oh honey, just be so loving with yourself today. You must be filled with emotion. Kimberkiss, you've been feeling the need to heal others. It comes up sporadically. Well, we're going to be talking about all that stuff. Very deep. So, Anna, you're saying very deep relationships lately that you weave with people. A lot of coincidences. Yep. Feeling connected. And is there anything more beautiful, where seriously, Spirit says, than coming across someone that you recognize from another time space continuum, if you will? And those are the things we're going to learn to tolerate. And actually, part of what's going to happen is we are going to be learning, I believe, to draw them to us intentionally, so that the vibration of that can come into the tapestry. That's what Spirit's talking about. Okay. So, Kimberkiss, I'm just reading your discussion that you're having with Anna. Oh, somebody in your family beat cancer. That's wonderful. Wow. Mr. Cajun, I'm reading your comment. I'm laughing. Okay, Kimberkiss looks like she had to go. So I think it's time to wrap it up. It's almost 2 o'clock. So yeah, Spirit says think about the thread. Think for today. Just imagine the flow of love energy. Just an endless stream of love energy pouring in so that Pluto and Venus can have their argument and that can come to rights, and the power of that resolution tomorrow when Mars goes station direct. That's going to be the gas in Mars' tank. So, you know, even Mars being affected by love energy, it's just a phenomenal moment. Okay, Marie Antoinette, I'm looking at your information about Chiron. Retro in Aries goes direct on 9/12. And enters Aries again. Oh, Pisces enters Aries in. Pisces enters again into Aries on 19/2/2019. Wow. The thread card, somebody's asking about. Okay, let me show you one more time. Okay, so this is the Queen of Knowledge. And she's weaving our destiny. Spirit's been talking through me for the whole time I've been on YouTube almost about the tapestry. And I've been getting this vision lately of making some t-shirts. So if you guys have an interest in that, I might go for it. I'd have to get permission to use the image or come up with another image, but just to say something about the tapestry will be kind of fun. So you know what? Thank you, everybody. Just it was just wonderful. Spirit says we had a tea party. Just to be here with all of you. I am looking forward to people coming here in a way that's desperate because I've been cloistered for so long. I need some company now. And I think now that this sort of release has happened for me, I'm looking forward to be more available and Spirit saying more down to earth, even though I'm already a Virgo, whatever that means, just more grounded, more available. So if you are not part of the live stream community, please go to the website and join up because there's a lot coming through over the next year, and it is a way to support the channel, which I truly appreciate, so that I can make this my full-time effort and continue to offer all the things that I offer, readings and healings and medium services. Spirit keeps talking to me about classes and trainings, so I think that's on the menu for the coming year. And if you have an interest in that going forward, join the live stream community because the messages about that will go out from there. There's an email list that your name gets put on when you're in the live stream community. And you know, the other thing that I realized a little bit with hindsight, but definitely going forward, the live stream community membership, whatever, I think I'm probably gonna, it's right now it's set at $35. I think I'm gonna up that a little bit. But anything that you put into that, you'll get credit towards a training or a service or a reading or whatever you'd like to have. Because I think that's a nice exchange. I would like to be supported by the people who use the channel, but I'd also like to give back in some way and make it possible for you to do the things you want to do. Okay? So t-shirts, huh? All right, that'd be fun. Anna, thank you. You feeling love in your heart? Me too. I just feel like that. That's how I feel. I feel squishy. Squishy home. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Demi, thank you. My gosh, thanks so much. So I'm looking forward to communicate with all of you. I did the readings early. There might be another live stream coming next weekend. I'm trying to figure out if that's rational and possible, but maybe, because all the other things that Spirit wanted me to talk about didn't even come to the surface because I just needed to chill back and visit. Okay, so love and hugs to all of you. Thank you for the love energy that you stream every day. I truly thank you for that, and I thank you for being here with me and for being patient and kind and loving while I discover who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, go to the website and join up on the live stream so that we can rock it forward together. Okay, and enjoy the rest of your day. I really appreciate it, you being here, and I'm sending you all my love as always. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon.